Good afternoon, everyone. Sharice Jervis Hill here with our Coffee with Cher session. So excited to bring you guys Miss Laura Damiano from Laura Damiano Designs. Laura, how did I do? Did
You
I
did perfect. A lot of
okay.
people butcher it, but you did not.
Okay, good, good, good. So I am so excited to bring her here. She's actually one of my BCW Business Council of Westchester. I serve as her ambassador for the Business Council. And right before, when you're assigned a new ambassadee, you kind of check out their website. And I looked at her website, and being an event planner, I was in love. Such beautiful, beautiful pieces, all custom designed. So welcome to Coffee with Cher.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm so glad that you love my work and that we have similarities in the industry. So that's actually, a great plus. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. So grab your mug. Let's do a little cheers. Cheers.
Mine says
Look
super tired.
super tired. I'm sure. I'm sure. I love that. So, all right. So let's get down to it. So, so tell me a little bit about, about your firm and kind of how you got started.
Okay, so I'm a graphic designer by trade. I went to school for it. I've been drawing since I was 3. I became in love with the computer when it came out when I was in college. So I thought graphic design was pretty neat. Like you could put it on the computer and you can change it and all that stuff. So I majored in that, but what really got me into my business was I worked for 2 corporate companies. One was Party City and the other one was Choose Company that does a lot of home decor items for mom and pop shops, that type of stuff. So I learned a lot from color to production to font usage, that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2010, I did a complete wedding invitation suite, like a save the date, an invitation, all of the day of stationery as well, like soup to nuts, menus, big huge table signs for like where to sit, a photo booth signage, cocktail signage, all of that stuff. And everyone's like, you did all of this? And I said, yeah. They're like, oh, you're going to do my party. You're going to do this, I'm like, yeah, whatever. So, it was just one of those things that I was like, you know what, maybe I should just make it a hobby. So I started doing some things like on the side. And then all of a sudden it became I was on a seesaw. So my little brand's over here and then my corporate side over here. And I said, what do I do? So, there's a lot of perks and, non-perks that come with owning your own business. But I said, you know what? I was 30, 31 at the time. So I said, you know what? I'm going to jump ship. And I said, I'm going to grow LDD. And I said, and if it doesn't work, then it can always go back to corporate, right? But 12 years in this upcoming November, here I am. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's been a nice roller coaster ride, going from sitting behind a cubicle, reporting to a boss, just having set hours, all that stuff. But I've learned a lot going, through the whole thing. I've met a ton of people. But basically that's really how I got started. But the niche for my company is I'm not like everyone else. And that's the first thing that I say to all of my potential clients is that I do all custom work. So everything that you see that I've done or do is custom and unique to that client.
Yeah.
So I don't reproduce designs, which everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, how do you keep coming up with this stuff? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm constantly watching, looking for, anything inspires me. I get ideas from things. I have a little notepad that I write things down on. So I'm constantly reinventing the wheel, keeping up with the trends, stuff like that. And honestly, I like the challenge. It's crazy to say, but I like the challenge. It's almost like a puzzle that I have to figure
Put
out.
together.
Yeah. So it's so that's where I am today. I'm very proud of myself from where I started at, not knowing anything about how to run a business or anything like that, to where I am now. I've won a ton of awards doing this, which I'm very humble about.
Yeah.
But I wake up every day and I come down to my studio and I say to I'm proud of myself for what I grew.
That's
So
amazing. I
yeah.
love that. I didn't realize that every single one of your designs, like for each client, was unique. That is really hard. I mean, I guess we do the same thing with the events. None of our events are the same. You really have to kind of tailor it more towards the client. But just in thinking of like all the different designs, like really coming up with like a totally new kind of campaign for them, is challenging but fun at the same time, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
both. It is both. I love it gets my creative juices flowing and I get really excited about it, like happy, anxious about it. But what I do find with potential clients is that they don't want to be like everyone else. Nobody wants to
Yes.
everybody
Yeah.
wants to be unique, right? So
Yes,
that's
for
where
sure.
I come in with the wedding aspect. I'm branding your wedding, I'm branding your big day. So
Mhm.
and that's what draws in a lot of my clients because of the uniqueness of everything that I do.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So, I think we kind of talked about, my next question was kind of what sets you apart. And I think we kind of really covered that. I mean, the fact that
Okay.
you really make everything custom is, a lot of other invitation, companies that kind of work or graphic stuff for weddings and things like that. It's kind of a lot of cookie cutter.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty awesome. So anything, now, we're August 2022. Anything new that you're working on for kind of last quarter this year, next year? Anything new that's cooking?
I can tell you what the trends are for this year that, obviously are still around, haven't died, what's new, that type of thing.
Hmm.
Acrylic has been a big hit this year, whether it's signage or it's, on the invitation itself, something like that. So I've been doing
Love
a,
acrylic.
yeah,
Love, love, love acrylic.
it does come in different thicknesses. So if you're worried about weight with the post office, I mean, there's ways to get around that. The post office has become like my quote unquote best friends, but yeah.
Yeah,
um,
the acrylic is something. We did something, actually, I did something with acrylic for an event that I did personally, not, through my company. And I couldn't believe how much it was to mail, those little cards. It's like crazy.
yeah, it depends on the flexibility of the acrylic. So the thicker you get, obviously it doesn't bend
Ben,
and it doesn't go through the machine and all that stuff. So
yeah.
the post office actually, they hate it. So, but anyway, that letterpress and foiling has not gone out of style at all.
Mhm.
I've been doing a lot of letterpress and foiling again this year. I just actually foiled acrylic. So that's a new one that I have coming out.
Ooh,
Yeah, a
I
custom
can't wait to see that.
foiled on foiled on acrylic, like the shiny gold foil.
Ooh,
And
send me
it'll
that. I want to see that. I want to see one of those.
I'll let you see it once I release it to my bride because I
Okay,
don't release anything until they have them.
of
But
course.
they also I know a lot of pocket folds in the past were basically like a little folio that opened. So like you have your cards
Hmm.
on the side, your invitation in the middle, and it folds up and has a front. So this
Hmm.
year I've been doing a lot of custom cuts, die cuts for those things. They don't want the standard like V or triangle or whatever it is. So I've been doing a lot of customizing as far as that goes. um
Hmm.
what else have I learned this year? That going through a pandemic and having everything come back full force
Yeah.
a lot is a lot to take on. Amazon, as great as Amazon is, it has let everyone believe that everything can be done 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I do all things custom and handmade, and things take time. So I try to, preface my clients with, give yourself enough time for this. I know you guys come to me last, but you really need to get on the ball with this because it doesn't just take 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah,
Especially with what you're doing. My goodness,
exactly. It's not
Yeah.
you're not picking out of a book like you mentioned before, a cookie
Yeah.
cutter thing. You're not picking out of a book, just changing the color and having the same fonts and stuff. You're really customizing everything. So
Yeah.
it takes a bit. If I didn't, have so many clients, I mean, obviously things would get done sooner, but I do have an influx of clients and I try to, devote my attention to each one of them fairly. Like each one gets the same, focus, attention, time, etc.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the one thing I will say is that this year has taught me more about, you know, like, even with paper shortages and stuff, it's stuff can happen. Like I had never had these problems in the past. And, like there's a lot of paper shortages. I did have shoulder surgery this year on my right dominant arm. So that kind of killed my production for a while. So I ended up hiring 3 girls and expanded a little bit. So, everything's, every year is a learning process too.
Yeah. It continues to be a learning process. I mean, I've been in business for 18 years and it's like every year there's something new. You're constantly, adding on product lines, reinventing yourself in different ways. So it does not stop. But it's that growth, it's that grit, that's why you're thriving, in the midst of this pandemic, because we're still in a pandemic, but
I mean, the pandemic's going to be here to stay. So, and it's just, I mean, back when COVID did happen, I was doing change the date cards like on nonstop.
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh, in 2 months it'll be gone. It's just flu. And then they came back to me, I need to change it again. I'm like, hey, I'm like, no problem. But so then when COVID did hit, I was dead in the water. So like, there was no events, there was no nothing going on.
Yeah.
So,
but now you're speaking to the choir, girl. You're speaking to the choir.
I know. So it's like, and then when they started coming back, then everyone's coming in. So I have a lot of overages from COVID brides plus new brides. So this year has been actually a challenge for me to, handle that, figure out, better routines for things, better structure, like stuff like that. So it's actually, it's helped me in a way. It's not all negative. But everyone should not wait to go for invitations last. I know everyone wants their DJ, their hair, their makeup. I understand the church and the venue. Please, if you don't have me, you don't have a wedding. So you need to invite the people there.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. So I'd like to end with, although I feel like you've left so many gems in this podcast episode, just, for business owners, but if we had to sum it to kind of crunch it down to like one or two, what kind of tidbits would you offer a new business owner, someone who's just starting a business? What kind of advice would you give them? So either a new business owner or someone who might have started a business, having a rough time, kind of, what kind of advice would you give them?
There's a few things and I'll just touch on them. One is that you have to dedicate the time. Okay. The time I can't tell you how many nights and weeks I was working 22 hours doing any bridal show, any networking event, whatever. It's about the marketing as well. So that tied into there. It's also about, you have to spend money to make money. All right. So to market yourself, you need to spend money to do products that, you know how the term is fake it till you make it type thing. Make products that aren't exactly for people and try to push those and see what the feedback is that you get on those. So it's basically, you have to put the time in. I will say, being a single mom, my son's almost 6. If I had to start LDD now, I don't think it would have ever happened because it's a lot. It's a lot, with having a child and doing, a business on your own. But when back in the day, I was working nonstop. I was getting my name out there. I was broke most of the time. I was eating cereal for dinner every week. So it's, it just comes with the territory, but then you get to a point where, you're good, so then you look back, like I said before, and you look at how proud you are from what you built, but you got to have the mindset and you can't give up. So the minute you say, okay, I'm done, I'm giving up, like it's not going to go anywhere. You need to make sure you put in the effort, the time, the money. It's a lot to, have your own business, so, but that's my best advice is that, if you really want it and you really want to do it, you have to go for it. You have to do it. There's no time better than the present. So just get it going and do it. I also do consulting if anybody is interested, obviously, and you know that, and you know helping that. I've helped 2 businesses already. So yeah, but yeah, that's my advice as far as starting or currently have just started a business, is that you got to keep pushing. And now in this day and age of everything being digital, use your outlets, use your Instagram, use your TikTok, use your, you know, Pinterest, use whatever platform is working for you about whatever your business is about. Because those things are free tools. So we didn't have those back in the day when I first
exactly.
it just started. Like Facebook was around, but like Instagram just started. So it wasn't what it is now. Like take those videos, record everything, even if you don't use it. Like people want to see the behind the scenes things of like how you do things and how things came to be. You know, it's a lot of things. So, but it's just time, effort, money, dedication. That's basically really what those are the things that you need for a business, basically.
Amen. You preached today, honey. You really you told what needed to be told. So this was awesome. So tell everybody how they can find you. Give us your contact info.
Okay, so everyone can find me. My website is lauradamianodesigns.com. On there, it does have all my social media handles. However, I am primarily on Instagram. I am on TikTok. I do have a YouTube channel. My Pinterest is a work in progress because I have to switch out a lot of stuff on there, but that's a whole other thing. It's like one thing at a time. And yeah, Instagram is my main platform. I actually grew my followers from last year from 8,000 till I'm at 19.2.
Get it, girl.
Yeah. So it's again, it's about the dedication. It's about putting yourself out there and putting it in people's faces, you know, constantly, using your right strategy. You have to figure that out on your own, which works best with your viewers, with your clients, for potential clients. But yeah, my Instagram handle is LD Designs. And then I think my TikTok is LDDNY. And then obviously my YouTube is Laura Damiano Designs, and so is my Facebook. So yeah, that's how you can reach me. Instagram's the main one because it's all visual, and that's where I put all my fun reels about how I do things. And, you know, my son's on there too because my little helper. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's how I can be reached. And obviously, if anybody has any questions and wants to reach out to Cher in order to reach me, that's fine too.
So we'll definitely post your info so everyone can find you. And this was incredible. You've left so many gems. Thank you for that. Thank you for your time. And everybody go check out her IG page.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to meeting new people.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good day.